Welcome, everyone, to the Black and White History Podcast. We are your hosts, and we have quite an exciting topic. Oh, I'm Christian. Sorry, I forgot to.
You forgot your own
Yeah.
intro. You almost spoiled what we've done like 9 episodes. You almost spoiled our thing. You can't do that to me. You can't say I don't like. I'm a frightened baby chipmunk. I'm afraid of anything different. We,
Well,
we might have to reshoot this.
we're doing it live.
We always do it live.
Yeah,
What
it's
are
true.
you talking about? You think this is polished? If this is polished, we have a problem.
The lack of editing in this podcast is worrisome. So.
I love that comment. We got a few months ago. Dog shit podcast.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Like I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, so obviously, if you clicked on the title, you know you've been sitting on your hands waiting.
Yeah, man.
Just sweating.
We're gonna
for
talk
us.
about him. Today's the day. Old Kinderhook.
Everyone's favorite president,
Everyone's favorite president.
Martin Van Buren.
The little magician. The magic man. And El Diablo. Basically.
Yeah, I think Martin Van Buren's probably the first. Like, at this point, I feel like he's for people who don't know a ton about history or just like all the presidents. He's probably the first one who people just have like no idea who it is. I feel like
Yes.
obviously George Washington, like John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, and then like James Madison, like
He was
James
a-
Monroe.
Yeah, he was a founding father.
Yeah, he
They wore
started
the
there.
wigs.
And then Andrew Jackson,
Mhm.
or I guess John Quincy Adams, and then Andrew Jackson, and then now Martin Van Buren.
It's like,
Just-
who?
Yeah.
There's a lot of who coming up in the
Yes.
next like 35
We are on a
years.
really weird train of
Yeah.
watching the downfall of America.
It started here.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of the end. Yeah, good old Martin Van Buren. It's interesting that he and Jackson were so close because Jackson was from like Tennessee and
He was from New York.
he's from New York.
Yeah.
Kinderhook, New York.
Okay.
That's a weird. I don't know. I don't know why you would. It's probably named after someone. It's one of those things, but yeah. So Martin Van Buren really had two claims to fame. The first was Trail of Tears, and the second was Panic of 1837. And so
In 4 years.
in 4 years, yeah. So it's almost, at least for him and his quote unquote legacy, it's probably best if people don't know who he is because I wouldn't want my name associated with either of those things. I don't even want to have to pick one of them. They both suck. So, yeah. So Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act in the previous presidency.
Yes.
And he kind of started a little bit, but he got stalled by the Seminoles in the Supreme Court. And then he kind of just went cowboy like he is known for doing and said, well, I'm just going to do it anyway. So try and stop me. And then he kind of ran out of time, didn't really push the issue. He did start doing it. There were some movements, but the biggest ones, the actual
what
Trail
it's
of
known
Tears-
for didn't happen yet.
Yes. The actual Trail of Tears wasn't,
Yeah.
wasn't until Martin Van Buren. And yeah, Van Buren.
Well, yeah, I guess to start, he's kind of one of the first people who, because kind of actually climbed the ladder of politics. Because most of everyone before, I mean, Andrew Jackson was, the outlier, the non-politician populist, and then everyone before him were like, well, we were already founding fathers, so
Yeah.
we're, we don't need to prove, we don't have anything to prove, like we're already here, like, so there was no like, oh, he started off as a, local representative, and then he climbed to the Senate, and then he did the da-da-da, and then you kind of like earn your fame through there. Martin Van Buren was kind of the first one to like actually climb every single rail.
He worked
Of
through
the
the farm
ladder.
system
Yeah.
for sure, and he was close. he was. Jackson had a lot of proteges. He had a lot of like people who were aligned with him ideologically, and Van Buren was one of them. And Van Buren was the vice president and secretary of state for Jackson, and he really helped get Jackson elected that second time, like when he actually won. So Van Buren comes in, and if you recall, just before Van Buren became president, Andrew Jackson had basically destroyed any sort of federal bank.
Yes, no, but there's a lot to
There's a lot to that,
but,
and everyone loved it because man, yeah, we don't like those bankers, and let people do, yeah, open economic policy and let people do it, and yeah, man, totally. And then Van Buren gets elected in 36, and then it turns into 37, and the whole economy pooped its pants. It like violent, like like the whole economy is sitting on the toilet and nothing's coming out, but they're still straining. It's just it keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse. Yeah. Uh, should we just go into it, or
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, obviously, this is our first New York president.
Mm-hmm.
There's only been a couple, Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes.
I mean, basically the same person, but
No, negative. Him and then Trump.
Yeah, okay, we've had three. Is that the only three?
Although I don't know if he ran from Florida or from New York. He's from New York. I would say he's a New York president.
Oh, Van Buren.
No, Trump.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I would say more New York.
Yeah.
But he's a New Yorker.
He's a New Yorker.
Yeah.
He talks like a New Yorker.
Yeah.
He's got, just because he lives in Florida doesn't make him
Right,
not a New
yeah.
Yorker. So, Van Buren was one of the founding members of the Democratic Party, along with Jackson, and that whole kind of ideology. He definitely, you kind of have to feel bad for him a little bit because, he supported Jackson's policies of destroying the central bank. So, you kind of reap what you sow on that. I wonder if there was, I'm sure there was, like, economic people who were like, hey, I know that you really want to do this, but this is going to have really bad effects. At this point, because they're such a young country, I mean, money's money. So at a certain point, it's like, if you allow banks to print their own money, basically, at the local level, people are going to take advantage of that. Like, that seems to be common sense. But like now, 170 years later, we're like, absolutely not. There's no way that would work. People take advantage of the system when it's centralized. Like, there's no way that's going to work. But I almost kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, we're going to do it this way. We're young enough. And we just believe in the people, and the people are going to do the right thing. And maybe the people did do the right thing, but the bankers didn't do the right thing. That's why they're bankers, because they don't do the right thing. I mean, most of them do, but a few of them don't. So
yeah, I mean, any president, even like the worst presidents, you can still be like, well, there's still that one thing that was okay, or you can kind of see like where
you can see where they're coming
that's
from.
what I mean. Yeah.
You can see the ideology, you see the logic in it, but the execution, it was so bad. It was the worst economic depression the country had ever seen, and we wouldn't see another one until the 20s. And it was there were two main factors that kind of made that such a crisis. So Jackson destroys the bank, the centralized federal bank, and he lets local banks, he gives all the federal money to local banks, and they can issue paper money. Now, theoretically, this paper money is supposed to be backed by precious metals, gold and silver. And so if you're a banker and I give you $100, you're supposed to give me $100 worth of gold and silver back. So you keep it in your vault, and because $100 worth of gold, I mean, now it's not that much, but back then it was a lot. So like hauling around a sack of gold coins, if I have $1 million in 1838, like that's a lot of gold. So paper money is way more convenient. I can just cash it in, this, that, and the other. I get my gold if I want it, whatever. The problem is that if you can just print money and create value, and secretly you don't have that much gold on hand, because who would ever want, like, if everyone came and wanted to get gold at the same time, like, well, yeah, but no one's going to do that. Like, of course not. Except the specie circular. Are you familiar with the term? Okay. So basically, the specie circular is, how do I describe it? You have to, when the government buys something, it can't use paper money. It has to use gold and silver. Or when you're buying something from the government, it has to use gold and silver. And so now you've created a system where if you want to buy something, you have to have gold and silver with it. And this causes basically a run on the banks because they had overprinted paper money, did not have enough precious metal to back all that currency. And so when people tried to get their gold and silver, they're like, we just don't have it. Your money is worthless now. That is a problem. The second thing was the British increased their interest rates.
Right. They were having a bunch of financial problems at the exact same time.
So they increased their interest rates. They were trying to protect their gold, like precious metal reserves. And so basically trade and loans and financing between Britain and the US dried up. So now it's a double whammy. We have no gold. We have a bunch of worthless paper money. No one can really buy or sell anything. It's an absolute disaster. Like unemployment in the cities was like 30%. Like one in three people,
right, yeah.
like 1 in 3 people did not have a job. Like we freak out when it's like 7%.
Yeah.
25 or 30% is crazy because, I mean, even if technically speaking, most people are working, the currency's value is so low and so few people have it. Like if you produce a bunch of stuff, I just don't have the money to buy it from you. I just don't. So you lose money because no one's buying your product and you're spending money producing that product and paying your workers. I can't buy it. I can't buy food. So we're just screwed. It was real bad. Real bad. And it kept going for like 3 years, almost
yeah.
4 years, like almost his entire presidency.
Well, yeah, I think even some of the effects were even post.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like we started to bounce back in like 1939 or 1839. Like it was just not good. Yeah, like
it's kind of one of those like, it's like with the 2008 recession. That was, the ground was kind of like, it wasn't, obviously Bush took the brunt of the blame on all that, but that like preceded
Yeah.
him from the start with like Bill Clinton and everything. And so it's
like Glass-Steagall or whatever.
yeah. So even that is like when another president just kind of like walks into a bubble that's about to pop.
Yeah, it's
You got to feel for him a little bit.
you do. And I was doing research and I'm looking at like the circumstances. And obviously our fiscal monetary policy is way different because we have a centralized bank and we have like digitalized currency. But the Federal Reserve basically does that. They just print money. And it's not even paper money. They just make numbers in the computer and they create value out of nothing. Like housing prices. Like is a house that was worth $200,000 in 2010, like the wood, the wires, the plumbing, the land on it, is that actually worth $700,000 now? No, it's worth a little bit more, but it's not triple in value.
Yeah.
Like that value is essentially made up. And it's basically like fake money. It's a bubble, is what it is. Real estate speculation, like, oh, I'm going to invest in this because I think it's going to keep going up in value. And then more people invest in it, so it increases in value. But there's a tipping point where like no one has enough money to buy a house. And the core principle of economics, capitalism, is the price is whatever the market will bear. So whatever people are willing to pay for something, that's how much it's worth.
Yeah.
If no one's willing to pay $700,000 for a $150,000 house, that house it's functionally worth nothing. Like, so we're not quite there yet because making money, like creating money, is so easy. Just add some more zeros to it. But for like actual normal people, like I can't just add zeros to my bank account and make myself have more money. So it's history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. And I'm seeing a lot of rhymes here. And like, will it be a total collapse? No. We have too much money in other countries, but a depression is certainly possible. I mean, we've been in a recession for a year or two.
Today?
I mean, okay.
I don't know about that.
Well, the dictionary definition of recession is
Two quarters.
2 quarters of GDP shrinkage.
Yeah.
Or
it's like only 0.3%. It's like a very low increase.
But
But
we've. The problem is like, yeah, maybe our GDP hasn't gone down, but the inflation has gone up so much that it's like not a recession, but if it walks like a recession and it talks like a recession and it smells like a recession, it might just be a recession. Now, we did say, and we have said with many episodes that we've been doing this, like words matter, the definition of words matter. So technically speaking, no, we're not in a recession or not in a continued recession. But runaway inflation is a sign of recession and depression. And that's kind of where we're at. That's more editorializing and less about history, but it's one of those things that things kind of go in cycles. And so like when we're looking back at history and we see things like rising tension, rising tension, rising tension, there's a bubble here, this is going to happen, and then it happens, and then it recovers, and then it happens again. The time periods might get longer. So like between the 1920s Great Depression and 2008 was like 88 years, 90 years almost. 2008 to 2025 is 17 years. But even like the numbers that we're dealing with are astronomical. Like what the national debt's $34 trillion. It's essentially a made up number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot.
Well, I wonder, and actually, I don't know the answer to this, but because Andrew Jackson, we had no debt at all. And so I wonder, would this have, like, how much worse this would have gone if we still had a bunch of debt, or would it have really made a difference?
It depends on who we owe debt to. So if we owe debt to Britain and we're in a depression, they could basically just call our notes and say, well, we own you now. Like, you owe us, give us all your money. We'd say no, we'd have a war, but we don't have the money to pay people, so we would lose. Now, in comparison, like, the numbers are astronomical. The amount of debt that we owe to other countries is very high. But the difference is that we have nuclear weapons and they don't. So, and even though it's not great, even though we have a lot of debt, even though there's a lot of inflation, like, we're still the richest country. We're still able to produce. We have the most natural resources. It's all there. Plus, we have the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. So while that may not mean too much to normal Americans, like, I have no faith or trust in the American government. Internationally, the U.S. dollar is it's a safe bet. It's accepted everywhere, and it's the reserve currency. So theoretically, if we had debt back then, it would have been worse. We have debt now, but we have more trust and we have more leverage. Like, we were still a junior player internationally, very young country, not a massive army. Now that's different. So, and we have a lot of international partnerships. So we've got people who we can talk to. We have people who we can trade with. Theoretically, I tax them more, but so yeah, it's a different situation. It's still not good. Now you're getting into like interest rates and this and that, because how you slow inflation is to increase interest rates, to basically slow the amount of borrowing and slow the amount of made up money that comes in, like, because interest is just made up money. It's not the value of the thing that you're borrowing money for. It's just extra money on top. So if you keep interest rates high, that means that fewer people borrow. And part of the reason why where we're at today is because interest rates were 1, 2, 3%. Yeah. So everyone borrowed a whole bunch of money. And now less people are borrowing comparatively more money, but way less people are borrowing it. So, and in 1837, all Van Buren had to do was say, hey, guys, this isn't working. You can use paper money again. It doesn't need to be backed by gold. But Van Buren didn't do it because Jackson, the dude who kills people, was still alive. And just sort of like watching in the corner like, you better not do it.
Yeah, well, and also,
you better let us all starve. You better not do it. And he's like, okay, I won't do it. We'll die, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I guess it was also just at the time a very popular position still, so there was still faith, people with that, and like being Jackson's predecessor, it's like you don't want to, as his vice president, you don't want to just like show up and just completely turn the page and like
yeah, hey, that guy who I helped get elected and who like made me his vice president and really helped me get elected, he was totally wrong. We're doing the exact opposite thing. Yeah, you can't really do it. And also remember, like, the constituencies, the people who are actually voting for him, they're not primarily city people. So unemployment in cities is 30%. Unemployment in the rural areas, farmers and stuff like that, like, they're still working, they're still producing. We still need goods, we still need food. We still have slaves. That's cool. So like the Panic of 1837 hit everyone, but it hit rich people. It hit bankers. Like 40% of banks closed. So people who dealt in finance and money lost their shirts. People who didn't have much money anyways, they're like, well, okay, it's about the same.
Yeah.
Maybe a little worse, but I didn't have much money to begin with, so you
Yeah.
know, it's one of those things. It's all a matter of perspective, and it's the same here too. Like, I don't know, like you own a house, I own a house. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. And I have a lot of sympathy for people who want to buy houses and can't get into the market. Like I really do. It really sucks. There's a lot of good people who work really hard who should get a house and they can't afford one. But like we're earning equity, and people who rent are not. Um, like we benefit from the inflated value of our homes indirectly, unrealized capital gains. Like indirectly, we benefit from the increase in housing prices because theoretically, if we were to sell, we could sell it for way more than we would have bought it for, and that's just money in our pocket. The problem is that no one can afford to buy a house or choose not to, because when we bought, my interest was at 5.25%. Yours is probably similar.
Yeah, I think it's a low 4.
Yeah. Oh, shut up. Shut up. You know what I hate is when people say what their interest rates are and it's 3% lower than mine. I'm like, whatever. But then I can't talk because there's people who bought houses at 7.5%, and we're like thankful for it.
Yeah.
I got a 40-year adjustable rate mortgage. Oh, don't do that. So yeah, that's Van Buren. The economy crashed. Everyone hated him. He didn't really do anything, and then he just left.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, and I didn't realize that, and we'll get into this more, obviously, whenever we do James Polk coming up. But the opportunity of expanding the country was like an option.
Yeah.
And
just go west, young man.
Yeah. And he, didn't do it, like specifically with Texas. And so it's like, and who knows? I mean, obviously all the financial problems with it and stuff. And there's like, well, we don't want to go to war with Mexico if this is going to get too heated with everything else going on. But it's like, well, then this is what you're known for, I guess. Like,
sorry, man, I guess. Yeah. I mean, holding off on annexing
removed
Texas.
a bunch of Cherokee Native Americans and oversaw the crashing of the U.S. economy.
Yep.
And also tried to like play nice to both slave and free states.
Yeah.
Which is kind of going to be like a recurring theme now.
It's interesting because now looking back, you can kind of see how our desire nationally to end slavery was kind of ramping up. Like the amount of people who were like, no, more slaves, and the amount of like presidents who were like pro-slavery, expand slavery, were dwindling. And like even people who you would think would be very pro-slavery, like Van Buren, like Jackson, like didn't really do a lot to expand it. Like held where they were or kind of rolled it back even. Like I said with Jefferson, even though they were men of their time, they knew like this is kind of a foregone conclusion. Like Britain has ended slavery. Many other countries have. Our time is pretty much coming. And so they didn't want to be on the wrong side of history. So we'll just kill a bunch of natives. They're not really people. I mean, I don't know. Although the natives did have slaves too. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, in 4 years, this is going to be the start of like a bunch of one term or less, where it's just kind of like, okay, well, who do we got? All right, I guess we got Martin Van Buren and then nothing. And okay, who do we got? Okay, now who else we got?
Put Bill in there.
Yeah.
He's old.
Raiding the homeless shelter for
you, sir. Yeah. You're president now. What? People say you're old. I'm not old. I'll show them.
But yeah, I mean, kind of grew up. It is interesting that he was from New York and was, a Democrat with like the old Democrat, so especially with like the states' rights kind of stuff, not even just with the slavery thing, but with the whole umbrella with it all. But yeah, just kind of like, I don't know, just crawled to the finish line. I mean, he got completely, I don't even know if, well, what's interesting, and we'll be covering him next, when he ran against William Henry Harrison and beat him. And then so it's another kind of like rematch thing. And then got obviously steamrolled pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then he actually tried to run again.
They're like, no, Martin.
He tried to do a pre-Trump or a pre
Cleveland,
where trying to get back into the ring and everything.
And everyone said
and he didn't even make it past the primary. So
remember I was
like,
president? Yes, we do remember you were president. Not fondly.
yeah. So it is weird that it's like with how much of a disaster and just kind of a failure it was. Like he didn't just crawl back into
He's like, all right,
his
I
house
got.
and just disappear. Like he was still.
Well, he tried again. He
He
tried
was
again.
still like involved, but
And if I recall, he kind of came out on the side of abolition in the end.
oh, okay, yeah. I mean, it seemed like oh, that's right. I was gonna say also with Texas, and that I think that's right because part of the reason he didn't want to try to annex Texas is because that would have been the next state to with the Monroe or not the Monroe Doctrine, the shoot, what is it called? With they switch.
Kansas, Missouri.
Yeah, the Kansas Missouri thing. That would have been the next state to be a slave state because they go back and forth. And so yeah, I guess that was also his way of like, well, it's just not worth the trouble of getting into.
Listen, I'm already screwed.
Yeah.
We're already screwed. Do we really want to have this fight over a bunch of desert? No.
And expand slavery.
Yeah. Do I want to manage a whole war and then a whole other big section of the country and slavery? No. Let's try again next time.
I think he was also the first president and maybe only president who never had a first lady. His wife
was
passed
gay.
away. Yeah.
Oh, no, yes. Okay.
Or not a James Buchanan yet.
Shots fired.
That's like the most nerdiest joke.
We're not Buchanan. Obscuring history. People are like, who's Buchanan?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so his wife died, and then he was just a widower for the rest of his life. This is before even I don't even know if he was vice president yet. This is like for a while, so he just remained single for.
So his life
all
just
the rest
really sucked for a long time.
But I mean, he grew up. Like I said, I mean, he climbed all the ranks. He wasn't just some like, oh, I can do that, and walked in and realized how much harder it was.
Like Jackson.
Yeah. But I guess the irony is it worked out way better for him. Like, I mean, he's got at least like a better legacy compared to Martin Van Buren.
Yeah. I think the only one person with a worse legacy is John Adams.
Gosh, you can't let it go.
Just come on, man. No, I mean, no. For all John Adams' faults, he did not crash the economy or kill a bunch of Native Americans.
Yeah.
He did not do that, and neither did Quincy either. So,
No.
can we be done with Martin Van Buren? This is a sad, depressing. Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, New York governor turned vice president, or I guess Secretary of State, then vice president, president, and then failure, who kept trying to climb back up and do the work, and that's kind of the brunt of it.
Failure kept trying and kept failing. Props for trying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's pretty easy to say. At this point, Van Buren definitely ranks the lowest.
Yes.
Out of the bunch.
Yes.
So, and it's not even close. I'll probably title this something like, well, I think I said John Adams was like second president, first failure. I have to pick a more cruel title because this is like actual
worst president.
Yeah, the first disaster.
He might be the worst president of all time.
Yeah.
Not of all time.
He's bottom 5. Yeah. I'd say bottom 5.
He's the worst president.
There's a couple one in particular that I really love to hate. But,
Lincoln.
Yeah. No, we'll get to Woodrow Wilson.
Speaking of economic failure.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I'd put him at the very bottom.
No, probably not. And
honestly, you gotta put Andrew Johnson.
Yeah. That lion son of a bitch Johnson.
Yeah. No,
it's a different.
Yeah.
No, it's he's definitely bottom 5 worst. However, asterisk, he didn't create the circumstances by which this happened.
Okay. Yeah.
So definitely bottom 5. And also he could have stopped it and he didn't. So yeah. Not complicated.
Yeah.
But not entirely his fault. Very George Bushy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not entirely his fault. Probably.
And started off really popular.
Started off great.
Yeah. I mean,
and real soon afterwards, real soon, everything went to pot.
When we found no weapons of mass destruction, it all went down.
I mean, Van Buren didn't even get to go on an aircraft carrier in a flight suit and say mission accomplished and then continue a war for 15 years. We did it, guys. So we're going home?
He couldn't even drag us along for the ride. It was just like within a couple months. Everything just went.
He made 3 speeches and everyone starved.
Yeah.
What did I say? Nothing, and that's the problem.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and move on. There's going to be probably some repetition.
Yes.
Coming up. With
Yes.
these next few guys.
Okay. I'm really excited about this next president.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be great.
Well, until then, if you don't know who it is yet,
I mean, man, I've been waiting a long time for this guy.
Okay. Well, be sure to like and subscribe. And you see that at the beginning more. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you. See you next time.
Or don't, whatever.
It doesn't matter at this point. At this point, with where we're at, you could be like, "Oh, George Washington. Oh, Thomas Jefferson. Let's get past
Martin Van Buren.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone who didn't go from Thomas Jefferson to Lincoln and actually watched all the ones in the middle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Write your name in the comments if you've watched all the obscure presidents between Jefferson and Lincoln, and we'll send you a pizza roll.
Yeah. All right. See you next time.